We're Hasani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Couples Academy Show. My name is Hasani.
And I'm Lakeisha.
And we are here this day to connect with you. No matter where you may be from around the world, we want to welcome you into the community. Just give us your city, state, and country so we can represent you. We're talking about something uniquely different this week. We're talking about marriage and money. Now, most of you know that we typically deal with betrayals and communication issues and trust and forgiveness and things of that nature. But truth be told, one of the biggest issues, one of the biggest problems, one of the leading causes for divorce amongst couples is that dollar. Money.
But
You know,
we're still dealing with it, though. We're still dealing with it, Hasani, because can't there be financial betrayal?
There it is. That's absolutely correct. Financial infidelity is a real thing, and it creeps up into relationships. And a lot of people aren't even aware that it is a form of betrayal, because that's my money. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if I ask you, I already know what the answer is going to be. So I'm going to do what I do and deal with the consequences later. And then boom, trust issues. Mm-hmm. And so that, amongst many other things, is what we're talking about. But before we get started, just a couple quick announcements. September is just 2 days away. It's a big month. This Saturday is our masterclass. There will be a link in the description. I highly recommend you do that. We have some amazing experts who are going to be coming on unpacking what you need to do financially in this time that we're in. We're headed into a recession. Things are getting tight. Prices are going up. People are strained, right? Their pockets. When it comes to gas, the gas pump, people are making life decisions. There's a lot going on. So you want to be able to know how to properly navigate through these times. So if you haven't registered, it will be available this Saturday, 4 to 7 p.m. 3 to 7 p.m. It's going to be amazing. Also, the following weekend is the Unearthed Retreat. Man, Danielle is excited. I know that all the women are connecting. It's going to be an amazing time. If that's you still wondering, is there room left? Can I still join? There's still room for you to join. And then the following week is our last chance weekend. Excited because we have couples that are coming in from different parts of the country to experience transformation in their lives. So if you're interested in any of those things, make sure you tune in. We would love to have you. What we're going to do really quickly is go to a quick break, and then we'll come back and go through these points. So stay tuned. Be right there. That's right. That's the Unearthed Retreat. Only happens once a year. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Lakeisha, are you ready to get it?
I'm ready. Listen, bags packed. I am ready. I cannot wait to get there. Literally, one of the ladies said, I will run there if I have to. When I tell you these ladies are pumped up, they're excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. And the key, Hasani, is that we're all looking forward to COVID-free hugs.
No, that's right. I know that's right. That's an amazing thing when you can bring people together from so many different parts of the country, and it's a safe environment because we take this very seriously. Everybody is tested on arrival, and if you're positive, you got to bounce because we're trying to create a healthy environment for the people. So, listen, register is not too late, but we're talking about money today. The 6 marriage killer money issues that people face. Now, it's not like it's just 6. I'm sure there's an incalculable number of issues. And here's the thing, what we've realized with working with couples is that, every couple deals with something different. There are
Right.
some couples who have a lot of money and they
Mhm.
struggle with finances in particular areas. Some couples who have very little money, so their struggle is different. And so we want to get into the complexities of that and unpack it. And I want to hear from you as we go through these points. We want to know what's resonating with you. But I think here's a huge one. Here's a huge one. It is what's mine, what's yours, and what's ours. Now, interestingly enough, the root of this really isn't a money issue, but it shows up in the area of our money.
Mhm.
When two people who have been living their life for quite some time, let's just say you're an adult and you've been single and on your own, maybe you've been in previous relationships, whatever, maybe you've been married before and now you've been single for a while, and then you transition into marriage with someone. You get to a point where you do life the way you do life. You've
Yep.
got your routines, you've got your habits, you've got your ways of managing things, you've got your credit, you've got your debt, you've got your savings. And so you come into a marriage, and this whole concept of oneness is foreign to you. And so many people have well, that's my situation. What's your situation and what you bring into the table? And you have two individuals who are separate entities operating in this thing called marriage, and there's no oneness. So
Mhm.
a lot of couples keep their finances separate. They have separate bank accounts, they have their own debt, they have their own savings, they have their own everything. So it's no longer the team of we. That's what we try to incorporate. It's the team of me versus the team of you. And let's figure out how we're going to live this Dutch life. So we go half on bills, we go half on vacations, we go half on expenses for the kids. We just go half on things. And maybe there's an account that we put a couple dollars into for shared expenses. Now, listen, the reality is, every couple has a different method for how they want to manage their finances. And
Mhm.
whatever your method is, here's the principle: if it works for you and doesn't work for your spouse, it doesn't work for your marriage. If it works for your spouse and doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for your marriage. So while there are some couples who operate successfully by having individual accounts, there are other couples who struggle with that. But whether you have multiple accounts or one account, at the end of the day, like there shouldn't be a division and a separation between how you manage your finances. Meaning, what I'm saying is, there's a phenomenal book that I read some time ago, Lakeisha. It's called One Bedroom, One
One
Bank
bank
Account,
account. Yeah.
implying that even though we have many bank accounts, it is not your money or my money. It is our money, our money. And my
Mhm.
name should be attached to those accounts, just like your name should be attached to my account, because God forbid something happens and somebody perishes and they don't have access to the money because we've lived this secret, clandestine, compartmentalized life. It creates a problem. So going back once again, let's put this back up on the screen. What's mine, what's yours, what's ours. This is worthy of a deeper dive conversation, because I guarantee you so many couples struggle in this very thing.
Yeah, well, I think too, it's easier to just keep it separate, right? Like in our minds, we're thinking it's easier because if you have your account and I have my account, then I do what I want to do, you do what you want to do. We don't have to talk about anything. So it's easier for us, right, to keep things separate. But what you're not
Mhm.
realizing is that over time, it's divisive. And over time, what ends up happening is you end up splitting everything down the middle. You split your conversation, you split your desires, your wants, your wishes, your dreams, everything. Is what I want and what you want and not what we want. And the reality is this: when you see an increase in conflict, it's often a direct result of a decrease in communication.
Wow. Can you say that again? Can you say that
Yes.
one more time?
Yes, when you see an increase in conflict, it is often a direct result of a decrease in communication.
That's a bomb. That's a hashtag. I want you all to write that down. That right there is
I'm
powerful.
telling you, because it causes so much confusion. I don't know what you're doing. You don't know what I'm doing. That leads us oftentimes to financial infidelity as well, where we're hiding things and we're not sharing with each other what we're doing. And when you don't have that communication and that conversation, you haven't addressed the expectations. When someone does something that's offensive to you,
Yeah.
you have no clue what you did because you didn't have a conversation. You didn't set the expectations from day one. And I've said this before, you cannot hold someone accountable to something that they never knew was an expectation.
So true. But I want to jump into something you said a little bit earlier, because I think I see this all the time. You basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, I can't say things as articulate as you do, but you said something like, when your finances are split, your dreams and your goals and your visions are also split. And I've seen couples who earn less do so much more because they were in alignment than couples who earn more who are not in alignment or not in agreement.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about whether it's the dream vacation or the dream car or the dream house or the dream of sewing, right? And giving and serving. I've seen couples, just because they were in agreement, do some powerful, powerful things. And couples who have all types of money, like, dreams go unfulfilled, and it creates just a negative energy in the relationship, because why can't we come together? Why can't we just figure it out? I'm gonna tell you something. I know couples, okay, who do not share paychecks, meaning they don't share with their spouse what they make.
Yes.
They've been married to their spouse for 10 years and have no clue what their salary is, and only reveal it by force because they're buying a home, right? So I need your pay stubs. What you need my pay stubs for? Because we're applying for a mortgage. I need your pay. Well, I'll send the mortgage. Like, wait a minute. You rather send the mortgage broker your paycheck, but still don't want your spouse to have it. And so when they find out, they're blown away. They're shocked.
Yes.
Either they're shocked by how much they make, shocked by how little they make, and how they're able to do all, because people are living secret, clandestine lives. And it's just so crazy how we put so much more value on money than the relationship.
Okay, so you know who I am, right, Hasani? you know what I do, right? So you want me to open my legs, but you won't open your bank account? I'm just saying, like, you want to be laying next to someone that you are supposed to have complete and total trust in. But I can't trust you if I have no clue how much money you make, what you're doing with your money. Like, I don't know what you're thinking as it pertains to planning for the future, but you expect me to be completely open, vulnerable, and not withhold anything sexually.
Anything.
It makes no sense.
That right there. That right there. That's all I'm going to say. Let me read this comment, because Jewel, one of our practitioners, has been in banking for quite some time. She says, this topic is good. Most married couples don't realize when two become one that your debts due too. Student loans, credit cards, child support, etc. And your credit status is just as important. Conversations need to be had before. Nevertheless, not too late to fix. Saturday's masterclass.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like what she's saying, like, when you get married, the government sees all of it as one anyway. So if they see it as one, then why don't you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This touched Jewel in a special way, because Jewel is in finance. So this touched her in another way. She sees this all the time, where people are coming in and they are completely unaware of what their spouses have going on, what they're making, what they're doing. We don't know about your benefits. Like, there's no way we can function and thrive like this.
Check this comment out. Jackie says, my husband and I have shared an account for longer than we've been married. It's a form of submission. And if you cannot, that is cause for pause. Wow.
Wait, can you drop a bomb for Jackie? what's the key word there, Hasani? Submission.
Submission.
Submission. Oh my gosh. Powerful. Powerful. Spot on.
Daryl says, working in the same direction, you can do more with less. That's so true. The Bible says, can two walk together unless they be in agreement?
Yep.
When a couple finally comes into agreement, there is like the pace, the speed, the rate of your journey. It's almost like it quantum leaps, like you go from going 2 miles an hour to 55 miles an hour. Like you're shifting lanes because now you're in agreement and there's nothing holding you back. It's just like so many people are driving, but they have their emergency brake on. So it's just like I'm pushing the gas, but there's some resistance coming against the gas. It's that emergency brake, and that emergency brake represents our disagreement, us not being in alignment, us struggling with this. It's just crazy, guys. Like you can go so much further, so much faster if you just change your philosophy. And really, a poor relationship with money creates a poor relationship with the person you do life with, right? And that's what we're seeing happening, and that's why we're digging into this topic. It's so critically important. Let's go to the next one.
All right, I literally debt. Oh my gosh. Okay, so personally speaking, I came into my marriage. My husband and I both came into our marriage with debt, but the one thing that we both did was share what our debt was. Like, I want you to know exactly what you are getting yourself into. I want to know exactly what I'm getting myself into so that there are no surprises down the road. There have been couples, Hasani, who have come through Couples Academy who have, as you said, went to go purchase something. Could be a home, could be, we've been dreaming about a boat. We want this nice car. We want whatever it is, right? And they go to apply for the loan. And then that's when the spouse finds out for the first time that they have all this debt and they never knew about it. And it does feel like a betrayal because you have withheld this information from me and it affects both of us. So it is a conversation that you have to have, honestly, before you get married. But if you're already married, these are things that you guys have to talk about. We've been discussing how important it is to have a shared vision and to have a shared plan. So now we got to have a shared goal for how we're going to get out of this debt, because guess what? The two shall become one flesh. So my debt is now your debt. You could have not had no debt, but I have debt. Guess what? Now we have debt.
That's right.
So how are we going to get out of this?
Here's the interesting thing. Let's go to the next one because I think it ties into it. The next one speaks to personalities.
Yep.
Right? So there are literally 7 money personalities, and we're going to cover those in the masterclass this weekend. But let's just take 2, spenders and savers, right?
Yep.
Just those 2 alone. But let's go back to the debt conversation, because people, based upon their personality, based upon their upbringing, based upon their previous experiences, place values in different areas or in different things. While some value the need to get out of debt, other people don't.
Right.
I know people who could care less about their debt, could care less about their credit rating, could care less about judgments and collections. Bump that. I'm not paying it. So whatever happens, happens. Where another person has the mindset that says our credit is everything, our word is everything, and we should owe no man nothing but to love him. And so couples kind of struggle in this area in terms of, should they pay the debt off? How much of their income should go towards debt? What methodology they should use, which debt should be paid first. Well, my debt needs to be first. No, my debt. So now going back and forth on that. And I'm telling you, it's so important that when you struggle in any area, now going back to the sister's comment on the word submission, Danielle and I, because we were in this back and forth kind of struggle in terms of what we did, we had to submit to someone else's wisdom and expertise. We had to seek help outside of ourselves because it was like a tug of war, and it just wasn't working. When we did that, it was a game changer. Everything began to align. That was the beginning of the financial journey for us that turned our entire situation around, because when I tell you, we were on this First of all, we couldn't even afford to get on the bus, so we weren't on a struggle bus. We were on a struggle walk. Like there was no, and so the debt piece was a huge piece. But think about it. Not only are you dealing with the typical credit card debt,
Right.
student loan debt,
Mm-hmm.
personal loans from family and friends, and those
Mm-hmm.
are the worst debts to have because listen,
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather deal with somebody who calls me. I can hang up on a creditor, but if I owe my mother, my sister, my friend, like that
Right.
can destroy relationships, right?
Right.
But then on top of that, then you got taxes. You know how many people get in trouble because they don't pay their tax debt and they try to avoid and evade. And I'm just telling you, it is a wreck on your life and on your relationship when you don't take it, take these things seriously.
Yeah, and when you don't plan for your future. And the reality is this, the more children you add into this equation, the more you really have to have these conversations and you have to have a plan
Mhm.
because they are takers. That's what they do. And they suck us dry from a financial standpoint from the time they are literally from the time they're conceived. Think about it. Like when you're pregnant and you're trying to do right, like you're trying to eat right, you're trying to eat healthier, that costs more money. So, I mean, literally from the time you almost conceive, they begin to take money and you have to plan for this. So, I love this part about personality because you're absolutely right. It is a situation where depending on your personality, that will determine where your priorities lie. And we too had to get outside help. Now we're at a place where it's not necessary because we've learned that with submission, you yield to the person who has the higher level of knowledge or expertise. And in our situation, it's my husband. We joke like he's management. So when people call me and ask me they want to borrow money or whatever the case may be, I'm like, I have to consult with management because he is the one
Love it.
who is in charge of our finances because this is his wheelhouse. He literally is in the finance industry. So who am I to try to tell him I'm going to take the lead on the finances when this is what he does every single day? So that submission piece is huge.
That's another thing. That's not even on our list today. But what do you do when people ask you for money? That's a whoo, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Is that a conversation? Because a lot of times couples are split on that. But going back to the debt piece, I'm gonna touch more on personalities. But there's a couple comments I definitely got to get to. Gonzalez says we have to help build each other's credit. It's our credit once we are married, regardless. Communication, communication, communication. Very, very, very true. Jules says debt can cause division. Don't let it cause a divorce. And then
Ooh.
Gonzalez says, wow, the 3Ds, debt, division, divorce. Great point, Jewel. And it's true. Here's another one.
Whoa.
I read this a long time ago and it said, debt is the devil's salary. Now think about it. On these credit
Wow.
cards, student loans, taxes, you got fees and interest, and it compounds. So whatever the debt is, whatever the principle is, trust and believe. If you don't take it seriously, it's just going to grow and grow and grow and suck your finances dry. And if you're a believer, once you've paid all your bills, well, not once you've paid them, but one of the areas of having money is to help advance the kingdom. You
Yep.
can't help advance the kingdom if you broke, busted, and disgusted, don't have a pot to pee and a window to throw it out of. And so debt is the devil's salary. You're paying him the money that you should be using to invest in spreading the gospel all across this world. And so man, we can go into this, but man,
Sir, can you drop a bomb for yourself?
I'm just saying. I
And
didn't
that's
hurt
what
it.
Jewel and Gonzalez do. Like fire. The three
Yeah.
Ds,
The
Gonzalez?
3Ds. The 3Ds. That's real. That
It's
is
real.
so real.
It's so
And
real.
so going into this whole money personality thing, it's just like, listen, I want to live life because
Yes.
I'm my time, my concept of time is now oriented. And so I want to live life and enjoy life now. Like I'm not trying to be 65 years old before I can go on a vacation. I'm
Right.
not trying to wait to buy something nice. I want to live it now. So I'm more of the spender, right? I'm living for today. But then you have someone who's future oriented, right? They're thinking about the future. So they're more of the saver. Now, here's the deal. Which one is right and which one is wrong? Neither is right or wrong. It's not
Right.
about right or wrong. It's
Right.
different. And you need different. You you need both, because if both of you were future oriented and it was all about savings, and I know some people who do very well and they're very miserly, they're very tight, and it's just like, dude, like, live your life, you know what I'm saying? You can splurge, you can spend $10 on a meal, it's okay, like, enjoy it, that's what you have it for. And so you miss out on all the beauty and blessings that life has to offer if all you do is save all you can and can all you get, you know, that whole thing. But then if you're living life for today and you never prepare for tomorrow, you will find yourself in a destitute situation. And so that's why what you think is a problem, man, me and my spouse, we're just so different. Well, thank God for those differences. Those differences are there to create balance. And so there's got to be room and space in a marriage for both the spender and the saver, and for their values to be honored. So within the budget, that B word, people hate that B word. Most people don't live according to a budget, but within a budget, there should be room for the saver and room for the spender. So you're enjoying life along the journey till you get to your final destination.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, write the vision, make it plain. That's the budget. That's the vision is the budget. You write that down, you make it plain, everybody understands. But you said something earlier, Hasani. You were talking about the spender and the saver. And you were talking about how one person values that saving and the other person may value the spending. They don't care about the debt, like, whatever, I don't care about it. But what if the person who keeps racking up the debt, God forbid, they transition, they pass away? Who is left to deal with that debt? Your spouse.
That's right.
If God forbid the two of you go, then you pass that on to your children. It doesn't go anywhere. So it's our responsibility. You made that bed, you got to lay in it. You racked up that debt, you need to go ahead and take care of it, because it's not going to go away.
The Bible is replete with scripture and principles that really, and whatever your faith tradition is, I respect your choice. But as for me and my house, we follow the word. And when you really understand it in a comprehensive way, it speaks to all of these issues and gives you a blueprint and a roadmap on how to handle your finances. Because biblical prosperity is a promise that we all can partake in when you live according to the principles. And financially, we need to be principle centered in the way we live our lives. So I would listen. We're just scratching the surface on this conversation. We're going to go deep this week for the rest of the week as we prepare for this masterclass. You're talking about 4 hours of comprehensive information that will change the trajectory of your life financially in terms of how you do business. So if you haven't heard about it, we're telling you about it now, but it's going to be an amazing time that we're going to have. And really quickly, I just want to share with you some of the things that we're going to be talking about in the masterclass. Now, first of all, the couple who we have coming on, they have been in the financial industry for a number of different years. They're licensed in 42 different states, helping people to understand their finances. But we're going to be talking about money personalities, okay? We're going to be talking about how to create the right money mindset. Some people have a scarcity mindset. Others have an abundance mindset, and how to begin to think. There's a phenomenal book called Think and Grow Rich, right? Not just a cute title, but there's a lot of truth to that particular book. So we're going to be talking about the importance of a money mindset. Then we're going to talk about how you can create money. Now, many people create money by working a job, right? Other people create money through entrepreneurial means. And so whatever path you're on, there's a phenomenal book by Robert Kiyosaki, The Cash Flow Quadrant, and it talks about the 4 ways of generating income. So whether you're an employee, whether you're self-employed, whether you're a business owner, you're an investor, you're creating money. But how can we create money at a faster pace for greater reward? We're going to be talking about that. But then we're going to be talking about, as a couple, how to get in alignment with your money. We were just talking about that, how there's so much division amongst couples. But then here's the deal. When you consider the average millionaire, Lakeisha, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. And we're going to talk about what those 7 streams typically are. Now, what's quite interesting in the book of Ecclesiastes, right? It talks about how you should invest in 7 types of ventures or income. Yea, I say 8, for you never know where destruction is going to fall upon the earth.
Right.
So it's saying diversify your streams of income, diversify your ventures so that you're fully protected. And millionaires and billionaires have done well in doing that. So if you only have one source of income or 2 because of the job that each of you hold, then there's no financial security in that. Let's talk about some other streams. Then we're going to talk about something that's very, very powerful. This concept may be new to some people: how to become your own bank, right? You take your money or your check, you deposit it into a bank, and then you get your money back. You save money in a bank, and then you get some money back. But what if you could become your own bank? What if you begin to implement the strategies that banks implement? How that will put you in a better financial position. Next, how to protect your money. See, this is one of the strategies of the wealthy. When you have money, you got to learn how to protect it, because taxes is the second biggest expense that we all have. You know what the number one biggest expense is? Ignorance. Ignorance is very expensive. And if you don't know how to protect it, you're going to be in a financial situation. And finally, we're going to talk about how to hide your money, how to hide it. There are legal ways to hide your money without getting in trouble. Legal, moral, ethical ways that allows you to preserve your wealth. If this sounds interesting to you, you need to sign up for the masterclass. Link will be in the description. We love you guys. Hope that you got something out of today. We're going to go deeper over the next couple of days, so stay tuned. This is a conversation. This is a video you want to watch with your spouse. This is the conversation you want to have. So we'll see you tomorrow for part 2 of our conversation. Take care, guys.